Oh, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog, coming to you today with the not so nice one. Listen, if you don't know, I am a YouTuber a six-figure YouTuber who manages over $2 million in assets in real estate, trucks, and land, and honestly, too many projects to name. We're working on that this year. But let's go ahead and kick into this one. I found this disturbing yesterday because many people during Texas Independence Day were very upset that the governor of Texas decided that we were going to lift the mask mandate, even though Florida's been wide open, even though several southern states have been wide open with no major spikes, even though Tennessee is getting ready to vote on this on the 15th. And I think you'll see about 15 to 20 states who just go, yeah, we're not going to do this anymore. This doesn't help our economy. This doesn't help our workers. This doesn't help anybody. Essentially, people have been pouring out to Florida by the millions, right? And people are like, oh, Erica, you're overestimating it. No, it's a million people who told their accountants and financial planners to set them up to leave New York in 1 to 3 years. Those are people with money. We're not even talking about old girl, old boy who just bought a bus ticket and gonna go where their family is. And then a lot of the community tabs, a lot of you say, well, people are just relocating to be near their families, Erica. No, they're relocating because they cannot afford to stay where they are. They cannot. It's basically a red line failure. Now, I'm going to share my screen because, you guys don't like taking my word for it. And I don't think you should. You shouldn't take anybody's word for it. You should see where they're getting their information and their facts from. Now, long and the story short, we have kids who are absolutely failing in our school systems because of sending everybody home. We don't even have a country that's full of internet. You know what I'm saying? We don't even have a country that can handle the capacity of people being home. We don't have it. And people sit here and look at you crazy, but we don't even have that. And let's be really factual. Okay, let's get down to the meat and bones of it. 40% of children are at homes with single parent moms, essentially. There are some dads, but single parent moms. So if somebody's working, there's no one there to manage the kids. Right? And again, I already see the comment, son's doing better. There's going to be a 20% of the population that does better. That's it. It's always 80-20 no matter where you are, no matter the country, no matter where you are. It's 80-20. That's why I made my course The Rise of 20%. People thought, oh my God, Erica, that's so rude. And I go, no, there's going to be 20% of Americans who thrive from this great upheaval. And there's going to be 80% of people like, I don't know what happened. What happened? Okay, so again, I'm going to kick it off with Baltimore. Now, you guys are going to say, why are you beating up on Baltimore? And I want to clarify that Baltimore has had systemic problems for forever, but it's not just Baltimore; it's nationwide. That's why when I drove through from Detroit through Ohio to Virginia to Maryland, I was driving through these places. School buses were out and dropping kids off to their house, full of kids. And I bet you we're going to look back in 5 to 10 years and see those little counties and those little school places that y'all think are so country and behind the times. Those kids are going to come out financially better, educational wise better than a lot of the kids in the inner city and popular cities that chose to stay home. Now, prime example, this is the first one. I really want to go on a hardcore rant, but I'm going to try to calm down. This student passes 3 classes in 4 years. Now, you're going to say, well, Erica, how is that possible? I want to show you something. I want to go here. This is his mother. And we'll go on a comment in the section. He's ranked 62 out of 120. Let me say that again. He's ranked 62 out of 120. So that means there's probably 60, how many other kids? Almost 60 plus kids who haven't passed any classes, but are going to leave high school with a GED. With a diploma. Now, I'm going to say this to y'all, and I don't mean to be ugly. There's No Child Left Behind that came out during Bush, and everybody clapped it on and thought it was so great. It was a terrible thing. Because when you cannot hold kids back and get their parents' attention, like, hey, something's wrong here, and get the child's attention, then we just keep passing kids who don't learn anything, who don't read anything, who don't know anything. And then you look around and say, why are all these young black males unemployed? Why are all these young white people unemployed? They can't read. They know enough to do TikTok and Instagram. Why do you think so many kids want to come on YouTube and do pranks all day? That's all they know how to do. They aren't educated or suited for anything. And then the next question, people say, well, why don't a lot of these kids go into trades? Because it doesn't seem cool to be a plumber. It doesn't seem cool to be a welder. And guess what? At some point, they're going to have to pass a test to get those certifications too. Okay. Now, first thing out of the mouth is he's a good kid. He didn't deserve that. Where are the mentors? Where is the help for my child? I hate this is happening to my child. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is happening to you because you have failed. I'm sorry. This is going to be harsh and it's going to be ugly. Ma'am, you failed. There was not a semester. My mom, basically my mother and father married all the way till I was about 7th grade. And then my mother married my stepfather maybe 2.5 years later. So I've always had two parents. I'm not going to, but there was a season of just my mom, the military, and my older brother. And we're just all running because we're all exhausted and we're all just trying to catch up. But my mom still made sure in that window of time, that window where she was single, divorced, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, that she was like, hey, show me your report card. Hey, what's going on in school? Just a random conversation. And some people will be like, well, your mom's military. So, she's stricter, stronger. No, that's your parents' job. This woman works 3 jobs, y'all. I can tell you right now, when I worked 3 jobs, all I did was get up in the morning, work at the apartment complex, go home in the afternoon for 1 second, change, not even sometimes go home, change my clothes at the next job, work the pizza, go home. Saturday, be at Lowe's until I got out of that position because I wasn't going to be a manager. You don't have time to do anything but eat and sleep. And when you do go out, it's for a brief hour or 2 and then you go home because you're so tired and you just knock out. There were several nights where my friends would be like, hey, you didn't come out with us last night. I literally got to my apartment, took a shower, changed my clothes to go out, and woke up on the couch. So exhausted. So when this woman's like, I can't believe this happened to her, what's really happening is I don't know how long she's been working these 3 jobs. I don't know. But I can tell you she hasn't looked at this child's anything in probably 10 years. There's no way this kid is not passing. No one notices and just keeps going on like it's a normal part of the day. The first failed class, the first 9th grade year where everything was failed, we should have shut down everything. Everything should have got shut down. Now, I'm going to ask, where's his father? And somebody's going to be like, where is the mom? Where is his father? Where is he? Okay, where's grandma? Where's grandpa? This didn't happen in a vacuum. This didn't happen by itself. This didn't happen alone. There's no way this whole family didn't know this kid won't pass in anything. Because if this woman is telling me she didn't know this kid hasn't passed in 4 years and thought he was going to get his diploma in June and do what? Get a job? And he apparently can't read? Can't do anything? And then she has 2 other children? Now, I'm not going to say take her children away. That's not what I'm saying here. But there's no one here at this house. There's no parent here. There's no parent here, y'all. 3 jobs, there's no parent here. I'm pretty sure kids feed themselves. And this doesn't work. This will never work. And again, her son failed 22 classes or were late or absent 272 days. 272 days, y'all. Late or not even there. Only 1 teacher requested a parent-teacher conference, which Francine never happened. I'm sorry. I don't care about a parents-teacher conference. Why was your son later absent 272 days? Why did he fail 22 classes and you didn't physically go up to the school or write an email to somebody? Y'all, this doesn't make sense. And this literally, there's 60 other students who are doing worse than him. And see, she thought he was going to graduate in June and now he has to start all over again. See, she only cares because she thought he was going to go get a job and help her pay these bills. And I'm just going to say it. It's just the truth. Now, he may have to be responsible for the 2 other children. But again, we have 3 children here. Where are the fathers? If she cannot financially handle any of these children, do they need to go live with someone else? We have to really ask this. So what does online virtual learning do for this kid? Nothing. I'm surprised he knows how to turn on the computer. I'm pretty sure he knows how to turn on the Game Boy. Now, you're going to say, Erica, you're being too harsh. You're beating up on this woman. Sure, whatever. Okay, cool. We're going to go on to the next one then. 46% of NC students failed classes in some grades. Nearly half to third of 12th grade students in North Carolina failed a class in school while taking virtual classes. These are people who are in 12th grade. These are people who should know how to work a computer. These are people who are going to go into the workforce in a year, if that. People make fun of Chick-fil-A being so harsh on these kids and making them train. You're basically dealing with people who can't read and write and can't turn on a computer and upload an assignment. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? And you may say, well, Erica, man, dang, you're being harsh today. But this starts at home because your first teacher is your parent. If you watch your teacher and your teacher can harp on your back night and day. But guess what? Who is your first responsibility? Your parent. All my friends that are doing virtual teaching, they're telling me there's noise in the background. There's all kind of craziness going on in the background. There's no structure in place for this child to even stay at home and learn. These people aren't built for this. So when everybody's sitting here trying to tell you, well, my kids aren't going back, because why? You're not doing anything with them. So why shouldn't they go back? Again, 25% of Wake middle and high school students failed a class during remote learning. I'm using North Carolina because North Carolina is pushing hard to send the kids back to school. My nephews are going back 2 days a week. Okay, so while one set of group is Group A and Group B. One group goes Monday to Wednesday. The other group goes Tuesday, Thursday. And everybody does work from the computer on Friday. Y'all, this ain't going to work because when one group's in class, how will the teacher pay attention to the kids who are resuming from home those other 2 days? Send all the children back to school, y'all. Send all the children back to school, y'all. It doesn't matter. Send them all back to school. Because this will not work. This will go down in history as one of the worst mistakes we've ever done in America. There will be at least a significant 2 to 3 million that will never catch up. I would probably even say 5 million that will never catch up. Never. If you talk to teachers about students when they go home for summer for 90 days, less than 90 days, how they just lose everything. Like, I can't remember nothing. I don't know how to write a sentence. I don't know how to read. That's because no one is at their home enforcing them to read. That's the only way that happens, y'all. Is there's no one at home reading to the children. There's nobody checking homework. There's no one going back and forth on assignments. There's no flashcard training. There's none of that happening. You don't just lose a bunch of words in 90 days if you're still reading every day. If you're still engaging your parents, talking. Wake County administrators say Tuesday that 24 to 25% of high school students received an F grade in at least one of the first quarter classes compared to 15% last year. Now, again, we're going to come to the fact that not everybody learns via digital and not everybody learns in the classroom. We already know that. Again, a bunch of students are failing what? End-of-year tests. This is part of the reason they want to bring them students back into school too. They want to take them end-of-year tests and they're not going to pass. Okay? Again, more students failing. I mean, I can go city to city, state to state, city to city. This is Baltimore. Same thing. Another part of Baltimore. 38 to 60% of students from grade 6 to 12. Ninth graders had the biggest percentage of students failing. Okay. Push to reopen schools. Due to everybody failing, they're like, we should probably open up the school, huh? This is in Baltimore. Another one. 2,000 students have been back in the classroom. And they're going to increase next month. Why? Because 68% of the ninth graders in the city failed. Y'all, we can't have a society like this. We can't run anything like this. Do you understand how bad this is? I mean, I think y'all think I'm like being dramatic, but I want y'all to understand, like, you can't run a society where people can't read. When people say, why are people getting these Hellcats and 32% interest and they don't understand the interest? Every day I go on Facebook and Facebook groups and hear the same story all the time. I can't believe that I've been paying on this truck 5 years and I still owe like $30,000. Ma'am, could you not read? Do you not see 32% interest on there? Yeah, I saw it, but that's not fair. Ma'am, sir, Hellcats, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it gets real dumb. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, literally, April Brown, the mom didn't know for 4 years her son ain't passed nothing, failed 22 classes. It doesn't, you can't even just wrap your mind around it, how that's possible. Royster Gibbs, let me tell you something. Congratulations, because the numbers show that around 4th grade is when everybody gets their child tutors to increase their reading. Because if you cannot read, I'm telling y'all, every teacher shows when they start doing those like math problems and paragraphs and all this other stuff, studies show if you can't read, like everything else just goes downhill after 4th grade. And that's for all races. I have one who's doing good. She's an introvert. My other one, outgoing cheerleader, social butterfly. Nope, she needs a shot and a hazmat suit to go to school. I hear you, Miss Bella. It's white kids too. Like, I'm not even making this a white or black thing. I'm making this that y'all are not set up at home for having your kids sit at a computer. It's not there. It's not there. And I'm just being really honest with, when you look, and I'm doing a show tomorrow talking about nepotism. If you're a parent, like, I'm just telling you right now, our family, we've set it up so that we have a cousin need a job. We're like, okay, whose LLC is going to hire him? Okay, let's go get this cargo van and let's go put him in it. Okay, let's let him go deliver packages for Amazon because he done applied everywhere and can't get a job for whatever reason. We don't know. We're not judging him. Maybe he interviews bad. And we're just going to go ahead and absorb him and put him on payroll. Make sure he gets paid $45K a year. Now, first thing first, people are like, well, why are you doing that? He need to work harder. He need to study harder. He need to do this. Because that's not how the society works. That's not how society works. If you have the potential and the power to put your children in jobs and positions, that's what you do. This is why I was talking to Tim Jackson today. Like, look, I want to go pay for about 10 black boys, because that's what his focus of his charity is, to go get their adjuster's license, get their insurance license, get them working. There's several people who are like, oh, you don't make that much money. But I'm keep meeting black people who make $150K a year in Florida, living a great life. So again, we have to do something here. This is not working. And it's not even black or white. It's the fact that people aren't paying attention enough that in the future, when I tell you every time I go to these offices and these corporations, it's literally the owner and their family members or 1 or 2 assistants, administrative assistants. I tried hard to train a cousin to work for me just to do paperwork. Couldn't get it straight. So we had to find them something else to do. This is how family offices, quotation marks, work. So again, I'm sorry, y'all. I am reading this and I am exhausted when I see these kids that I know. And when I said it the other day, Tim was shocked, but 50% of African American men in Chicago are unemployed. So when people get on me like, why are you always telling people to start a business or take tech? Honey, if you live in a city where 50% of all the black men in that city are unemployed, that's a failed city. And Chicago is beautiful. It has beautiful parks, it has beautiful museums, it has beautiful stuff. If you can't get a group of people to get on a computer and educate themselves enough to at least clear $45K a year off a computer, and not no scamming, not no Forex, not no BS, something, there's a problem. There's a problem. So anyway, living in California, I always ask folks where they're moving. When I see a moving truck, typical responses, they're moving to Wyoming, Texas, Arizona. Exactly. Montana's been popping up a lot lately too. It was a horrible decision. It's how we got 11th grade kids reading on kindergarten level. Honey, yes. This is Paula, exactly. Went to homeschooling and hired a math tutor who is certified to teach. This is what most people who have the time and organization, like I've already told y'all, I didn't work this hard to send my kids to public school or private school, really. The future kids I am having and adopting, I'll probably have to adopt one or two, will be homeschooled, and we will have tutors rotate in and out. That's just how people do it. I knew a guy who graduated high school with 1.3 GPA. Yeah. And again, the GPA, and there's going to be parents like, Erica, you don't understand because you're not a parent and you don't understand. You just don't, the kids and the babies. And listen, we have a society where we depend on teachers, a lot of times unmarried, single or married with no kids teachers, to spend 8 to 10 hours a day with your child. Then you put them in after school programs where you expect another person, single person, to work with your child for 2 hours. Then you expect on Friday and Wednesdays and Thursdays for a male coach who's usually single to have to be bothered with your children. So don't come at me with that. Well, you don't have children and you don't understand. No, we do understand, because you ask, essentially, you ask the single and the unmarried and the married with no kids to come pick up your slack with your children. So yes, we will communicate on that. We will talk about it. Okay? Plumbers and welders make bank. This is true. This is Baltimore. Some parents don't put education on top of their list. Okay, coaching. I mean, it's just the United States, period. If you expect a mom who maybe is not great on the computer to come off of work tired and then come look at the computer and make sure your kid did the work, like my mom and several family members had to help my kindergarten age nephew. Okay, we're paying attention. We're doing the words. We're coloring. We're doing all this stuff. And it doesn't work. They're kindergartners. They don't care. They're playing with toys. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've read up some more on the whole journeyman phase where you're getting paid 60. The price range of apprentice to journeyman. Yeah, I've noticed that. Exactly. Listen, this is exactly the problem. Look at this person's quote. You don't have kids, so your opinion doesn't hold water. Even though I spent the whole first year of both my nephews' lives, their full-time nanny. The whole first year of their life, the full-time nanny. Took them to programs, took them places, took them doctor appointments, full-time nanny. Again, this is a lazy response parents have. You don't have kids, you don't understand. No, you're lazy. You're lazy. Just confess on the altar of your laziness that you are not checking up on these kids. And if you're going to tell me, well, Eric, I'm so busy, I can't check on my kids. Guess what your next answer is? I set aside $50 to $100 a month to put my kid in tutoring. Again, this is the favorite excuse of parents. You don't understand because you don't have kids, so you can't use your brain to see the math that kids are failing. Again, y'all, look, this is the number one response of parents. You don't have kids, so you don't know. It's the same. I've heard people tell it to teachers. I've heard my friend who's a school teacher who spend 10 hours a day, almost 180 days of the year with your child, closer to 200 some odd days of the year with your children. Oh, she don't understand because she don't have kids. You lazy, disgusting parents who think that's an easy answer to give. No, you're lazy. You just tell the truth and shame the devil. You're not checking on the kids' work. Their kids aren't reading to you. And then instead of you saying, well, damn, I'm too busy to do that, won't I send them to a tutor? Won't I sign them up for Sylvia? Won't I sign up for the free, hundreds of free programs all the schools offers to give them free lunch and free reading? This is why I have to do this video. I have to do this video because these are the same people who are going to expect you, single women, single black women, and single black men to come study and teach their children and tutor their kids and do all this stuff for almost free because they cannot do it. Even though we already know most of these people out here making less than $30K a year, they ain't working that hard. They ain't doing nothing on the weekend but cooking out. Come on now. Again, I just want to go ahead and have there. I just want to show you that this is, you knew this was coming on the screen. I want y'all to read. I love watching Erica's lives, but my only issue is she doesn't have kids, so her opinion doesn't hold water. You have to walk the walk before you can offer an opinion. So me spending hours of volunteering on the weekends, volunteering with United Way, volunteering with these schools, working on several after-school programs, seeing y'all raggedy, dirty, lazy kids that you don't invest no time in and put them in front of TVs. I can't give an opinion. Bull crap. And that's why you see all these channels of all these black men like, this why I won't deal with, that's why I won't coach your children. This is why I won't mentor. This is why I won't deal with those boys. Because you set up this problem, you're going to fix the problem. And this is the problem in the black community. It's a problem in the white community too, but it's really bad in the black community. How dare you tell me how to deal with my kids? Don't you tell me what to do with my kids. Your kids are failing. They're failing. 40, 60, 50, 60% in schools. Failing. You only want them there because of sports and music. Failing. Failing. Again, I want y'all to read this. This is the answer parents will give you. Instead of literally saying, hey, how can I get my kid some tutor time? How can I get my kids' reading levels up? How can we change this, Erica? Well, you don't got no kids, so you can't tell me about that because you ain't got no kids. Again, I'm just telling y'all. Just telling y'all. No left child behind was horrible. It was horrible. It was very bad. Please report 1,000 children are missing. Yeah, it's very sad. Public schools not teaching kids what parents think. Michigan said it's not their responsibility to teach your child how to read, and half the states no longer teach kids how to write in cursive. This is true. They won the lawsuit. It is possible, but guess what? Guess what? If the mother is illiterate but working 3 jobs, okay, she can tell what an F is on a paper. I'm not trying to be funny because a lot of people claim to be illiterate, but they know how much to count their paycheck. They know how to do some math when their paycheck's off. There you go. San Francisco dropped algebra as a mandatory math class a few years ago. Parents don't trust the public school system to teach your kids. There you go. California is dangerous trying to end in homeschool. California's dangerous. Listen, this is very common in the Atlanta area for teenagers to not know how to read or on a reading level of 5-year-old. And when you ask them to read out loud, you're about to get punched in the face because they get violent. I've seen this happen and physically seen this happen at a thing where we're offering after school training. Again, this is why I'm talking about this. Because, I'm going to be honest. I have 20 male cousins. I talk about this all the time. And they were always asked, 2 of them was doing substitute teaching. They're like, hey, we really need a coach. And he's like, man, I don't want to be no coach. Why not, man? We really need them. We need these coaches out here to help with these kids. And he's like, because they're disrespectful. They're angry with you. For what? Why should I deal with somebody else's kids with my free time? Sorry, no. The part that nobody even talking about, that this wasn't even a regular high school, it's a visual art school. I'm sorry. Restarting school as a 17-year-old is nuts. It's nuts because his mom ain't paying attention. People don't want to hear it, man. People get hella offended when you start questioning parents, especially when this is where the majority of responsibility lies. I don't like to hear that they're piss poor parents. Excuse me, I apologize. And I know I'm going to get ugly comments. I'm going to get ugly comments after this video render. You ain't got no kids. You just ain't, you can't talk about it. Yes, we can. You expect us to go through everyday life, educating, training, retraining, where you're not doing your damn job, these kids, and this is a problem. So if you don't want us to tell you to do your damn job, these kids shouldn't be failing. Well, Erica, you don't understand because kids sometimes fail. I'm gonna tell you right now, we got one nephew who he didn't turn in some homework assignments. We were like, okay, well, let's go ahead and send you back to class. You going with the group A because clearly you need to sit in class and pay attention. Early. It takes a village. They always want to see, Sarah. This is the part that drives me crazy. Oh, it takes a village to raise a child. But when the village actually tells you your child is raggedy, oh, the village is wrong about my good baby. Okay. Yeah, she was hoping that this kid would be done in June and he would start working and throw money her way, or she could put him in the military and send him on down the road. That's what she was hoping. There you go. Listen, virtual requires extreme discipline and ability to be resourceful. I think it only works for college and university. Even then, like even when I would turn in assignments late or had problem with Blackboard at school, they would literally be like, "Well, we have all these tutorial videos. Go watch them." That's why when I talk about YouTube and the algorithm and I joke about stuff, I'm like, the stuff people should be studying on here, they ain't studying. Now, what's a good part of YouTube I noticed is how to fix something, DUI, how to fix pipes, how to fix stuff. People do watch those, but again, you have people watching a lot of silly season stuff and never expand. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Mark, you have to understand that's what private school is now. Like literally, people make fun of private school and Christian private school. Oh, they ain't that great. They ain't that great, Erica. It's this class size. If it's only 10 kids that they have to struggle with instead of 30 to 40 where they're already overwhelmed, you're getting a little bit more focus. Instead of like the 2 minutes you might get, that kid might get a whole 10 to 12, 15 minutes to understand something and not be lost in the class. So we have lost the connection that your child is my child. Listen, I watched this thing on Baltimore, and this cop and his wife married for 20 plus years, and their son went to a party and somebody shot and killed their son. And they've been in their son's life the whole time. He's a cop. They raised him at great grade, straight A student. And someone else's child who was unloved, unparented, had a gun, shot and killed him. What we don't understand is that a lot of people think, I'm going to just go put my child in private school and it doesn't matter what happens to your child. That child will go out in the world and they will interact at some place, some point in time. I was watching a video the other day and this guy was a porch bandit. He's just riding around the city stealing porches, stealing packages. Well, clearly old boy can drive. Clearly he has the determination to keep doing it. Why does he have a job? Why doesn't he work for Amazon? Why isn't he delivering? What's going on with him? You see what I'm saying? So people have lost the connection that you and me will interact at some point. Oh my God. I see so many comments. And again, I know I may come off as super rude in this one, and I kind of don't care. We need a mandatory service for 2 years once you're over 18. It works for Japan. I mean, Korea. Yep. Success is a mindset that is taught. We're told that it's luck and talent. It really is. Like some people treat it that way. You better learn while you're in school. My mom didn't know calculus and was like, what did your teacher say? Listen to me, baby. Speak on it. If education isn't on the top of the list, what are you doing with your child all day, every day? They are basically turning on the TV. They are turning on the laptops and they're walking away, or they're going to work, or they're going in and out, or they're going grocery shopping, or they're doing their regular routine. And I'm going to say, listen, it's ugly, but there's a lot of parents who are at home all day. I'm being careful. They're underemployed. I'll put it this way. Or they have part-time work and they still aren't involved. They still don't care. There are people suffering from depression, poor eating, things interacting with them. But I'm just going to try to understand, like, these people don't have a system at home where they systematically check on their kids. They systematically check on what's going on with their, none of this. They don't do any of it. Much love. Thank you so much, AM1. I remember seeing this one black father, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's doing so well." He's overweight. He's like almost 400 pounds. His daughter started being really overweight, and so he started walking with her every day. But it didn't start there. It got there because the whole family's eating terribly, right? Or the whole family's not working out. And so the father's working out so bullies will stop messing with her. But that's just it. People don't change or change their systems until it gets so bad that, oh my God, my child's being picked on. Honey, you know what I'm saying? People act like you got to have a kid at your house so you can understand. Okay, cool. Honey, yes. Listen, and it's like, it's almost like you're a babysitter. Shut up and take my kid and don't worry about it. I'm just telling you, people don't care. Oh yes, my nephew come up with all kind of toys and trains, and it's ridiculous. I really am. I hope I do piss people off because it's ridiculous. I'm just gonna be very clear. I'm gonna be very clear. If you don't have some type of plan, because a lot of these kids don't have a plan. They don't know what they like. They don't know what they want to do. And I was telling people today, I'm like, if you had a boy at home during this whole year and you didn't have him in karate, some kind of music class, some kind of something where he had daily mental activity and physical activity, I don't know what you're doing. Khan Academy is free. I heard you don't have kids. Now that mother whose children grew up in a traditional household are now baby mamas and rap sheets. I mean, that's the crazy part. It's really like, honey, people really be sitting serious when they tell me that. There you go, Linda Dukes already planning to get her. Listen, get it up there. Khan Academy. Listen, everybody, Khan Academy. There's free education on YouTube. Some of the best parents are not mothers or fathers. This is very true. Yeah, I mean, I'm being honest, y'all. If you're not getting these kids tutoring and you can't do the work, then what happens? The kid just fails for something they didn't need to fail for. Is what you're saying is me investing in $100 of tutoring is not worth it. Your future life isn't worth it to me. And these are the same raggedy mouth parents looking for you to take care of them when they're older. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It is. It's once these kids get, listen, you already face an uphill battle from 12 to 17 with boys, keeping them in school enrollment, keeping them engaged in class, hormones, all that. They see girls walking around, all that stuff. So to hear this woman say, no one ever called me for a parent teacher conference, and I didn't know he failed 22 classes and he was late or not even there for 272 days, which is basically a whole school year. I don't know what old girl doing. I don't know. I said what I said, Mr. Fantastic. I said what I said because they're not working that hard. Most people, if you're working a $10 an hour job, you got 8-hour shifts, if that, or you got a lot of part-time work. Just is what it is. Honey, let me tell you, I think I saw that article. I'm not certain. There were 2 toddlers found walking the street at 12:30 a.m. in Chicago. I'm just gonna tell you what I tell you. Honey, and I'm like audible.com. Like I had someone in the chat, and I'm not disrespecting her. Thank you. If you're in the chat today, she was like, well, my son is dyslexic. And I said, well, ma'am, like, that's what audible.com is for. That's what YouTube books up there for free are for. Like your son, just because he's dyslexic doesn't get a pass. Like life won't give him a pass. My mechanic was dyslexic and he was amazingly talented. My friend Andrew Bryant, who knocked 10,000 doors in Dallas, he literally is dyslexic. He is dyslexic and he still reads like a book a month. He struggles, but he tries to get through it. And so like this excuse that, well, my child's dyslexic, so you don't even know. And it's like, boo-boo. Uh-uh. I'm telling you, Dave, sincere. I'm tuning in a little late. I've mentored kids here in Atlanta for years, as well as kids in detention centers. And let me tell you, it all starts at home. It all starts at home. Let me tell you, I have watched children who, and this is just not even being funny, who listen to their moms were kind of very religious, listen to Sound of Music and classical and nursery rhymes, and then see some kids over here who mom is just listening to 106 and Park or something all day. And those two children's energy at the daycare, completely different. Absolutely 100% different. If you don't think what you're listening to and feeding your kids and all this stuff doesn't come into play, you're sadly mistaken. Do you see what I'm saying, A&M? You don't have kids. You can't talk about it. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. They cannot rely on the school system to teach them just about nothing. Listen, a D. Think about that. You could pass with a D. This child is passing and was about to graduate in June if no one said anything. See, somebody caught this, right? And because it made news, he's going to start over. But if they didn't call it, like there's 60 other kids they didn't talk about in this news article. Think about that. There's 60 other kids they are not even mentioning in this article that are going to pass in June and go out there in the world and do what? Not much. I'm a stay-at-home mom with a toddler and a business owner. It's really tough, but son must be able to compete and excel when he starts school. There you go. I mean, again, if you think about the grand scheme of your life is the investment of your legacy in your marriage and your children, and the amount of time people they'll go learn every little weird little way to make sure they keep their husband, but they not try to make sure these kids are successful. Come on now, people tell you everything they need to know about them. You don't need kids to know parents not doing their job. I kept my son home and made work hard, so he begged me to go back to school. Thank you, Ebony K. I appreciate that. I really do. Maria said these moms too busy busting it on social media while the kids is failing. Y'all, I'm serious. Again, it really was never set up for you to have kids when you didn't have a plan and you couldn't be home. Like every time I used to get calls, my consulting calls, and people would be like, well, my wife is home, and I didn't plan for her to be home. If you want your wife to have a baby, you don't plan for her to be home the next 2 years, why are y'all having a baby right now? If the financials are that bad, y'all don't need to have it right now. It doesn't even make sense in my world. Every study shows you that you put a baby in daycare, they're more aggressive. They're more irritated. They have a higher level of anxiety. Come on, man. People, if you already know that information and you're still like, well, so I'm still going to put my baby in daycare. Well, then you've already told me all I need to know about you. There you go. Listen, it's supposed to be at home. AM1 is babies who have babies who have babies who have babies. And this boy, God, please don't let him go out and have no baby next year or two. That's all. And this is where people, I'm being careful. People say, well, the mom could be illiterate. What's the guy everybody hate now? The black guy that's a doctor, the brain surgeon. Everybody hate because he was on Trump's team. That guy became a brain surgeon. His mom was illiterate, but made them read and write book reports. She didn't ever read the book reports. She just made them keep writing them every week. And when people sit here and go, well, you just don't understand. A lot of black people in the South and the North, parents didn't finish past 8th grade. And they still had full productive lives where they bought homes, they drove cars, they made sure your parents went to work. The silent generation, a lot of them didn't finish school. I'm talking about people in 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, did not finish school. Lots of people in 1950s didn't finish school. Huge numbers of populations not finishing school, but were able to read, write, and go on about their day. One, you had the best teachers because women were limited on job choices. And two, your mom was home. So then she looking at you crazy when you can't finish stuff. And this person says successful African parents don't play that. Listen, most immigrant parents don't play that. They look at us and go, look at this free stuff y'all got. Oh my God. People expect their kids to fly blindly through life without training. They really do. Thank you so much for Kenyatta Times for that super chat. Keep stating the facts. The truth will stand out supremely. It's just the facts. It's just the facts. Y'all want the village to help, but y'all be disrespectful to the village. Man, you better get out of here. That's the thing that blows my mind. Like, nobody helps single moms. When we do help you, you're rude, you're disrespectful. I think not. No, thank you. Charter schools, yeah. My daughter has tutors. The oldest is 10, failed the first semester, but we got back on track after tweaking her research. Yep, there you go. Congratulations. Listen, you got to get invested in some of these kids' lives. Hey, thank you, Miss Bella, for the $20 super chat. A grandmother said to me that it was the school's fault her grandkids were failing. Mm. Mm. I was like, no, it's your daughter's fault. Then she said, well, the school should step up and do more. Let me tell you something. I spoke with this single mom. If she ever sees this video, she can get mad at me. I don't care. She's from Fayetteville. She moved, and this is my opinion from the people up north. You know, we got all these resources up north. Baby, you ain't up north. She and her mom and their family moved down because they had family in North Carolina. And I remember talking to her, and she was like, well, they know I'm a single mom. You know, maybe if the coach picks my kids up, or some of the other mothers would put my kid in their car and transport them to the games and stuff, it'd be helpful. They know I'm a single mom. And I remember talking to this girl. This girl won't even working a full-time job. She was working like 20 hours. And she wanted people to come pick up her children, 2 boys and a girl, from her house that's literally walking distance from the school, so that they could be transported to the games. And she wanted parents to include her children in the caravan of kids going when they had the travel sports, and, you know, help her out more because she's a single parent. Like the audacity. Well, you know, and here's even the kicker that made it even crazier. Her whole family moved down here from Ohio because they had been in Ohio for years. And then they sold everything they had in Ohio, came back to North Carolina because they had family in North Carolina. Her mother had a car and was at home. So you want people to go out of their way when your children are walking distance from the school, pick your kids up, take them to games, do all this stuff, coach, do extra work, drive your kid home at night after the practice over, when you and your lazy mom are home with 2 cars and only you work 20 hours. I wouldn't have believed this, y'all, until I talked to this woman, and she was dead serious, y'all. She was dead, like, serious as a heart attack. Like, I can't believe these other parents ain't helping me. This is the mentality you're dealing with people out here. And this is why when I talk to y'all sometimes the way I do, I know y'all be like, man, Erica a little rude. She feeling herself. Because I know I'm in the 1% and I've been there for 3 years. And when I got there, I realized not many people up here, because no people, not just people don't want to work hard. People looking for a shortcut. They only want to work 2 hours a week. And how can they not do much more than that? And I am telling you, as I sit here, that this is the mentality of parents. Why isn't someone helping me? I did not lay down in the bed and have fun and have those kids. It's not my job. Now, it's my job to assist, but if you don't want our assistance, which comes at the critique of the level of work you're putting in, then that's where the village is broken. Man cave, this woman works 3 jobs. And so again, I said in the article, this is crazy, but for a woman to have not known for 4 years, man cave, 4 years this child didn't pass but 3 classes, that's not possible. That's not possible. It's not possible. Listen, Dr. Umar, he talks about all the time, they capitalizing. Teachers call parents, parents don't answer. That's right. Somebody said, I'm a helicopter parent. Be a helicopter parent. So many parents are autopilot. I wish more fathers push their sons beyond medical Listen, trying to start a family with already having generational wealth is basically a setup for failure. Like, again, and people got mad at me when I talked about Texas, but you have people who moved here from California, other states. They came here, they bought a house, they got a brand new car, and they ain't got groceries in the refrigerator. Like, you just tell people's mindset are not where they need to be. Period. That's not an excuse. I'm dyslexic, and Harry Potter book saved my life. Most of the kids in my school were latchkey kids at the end of the day. I'm telling you, if you meet, and I'm going to be careful on this because I know some people, Gen Xers, usually Gen Xers, and I'll say Gen X is 40 to 59. If you meet women 43 to 50, sometimes they look better than some of the young women I interact with on a daily basis because they were the last set of people who moms actually were home and cooked. Millennials had latchkey all over the place, right? 23 to 39. Latchkey everywhere, right? Popcorn meals and Hot Pockets and S. You meet those women, you can tell they had real greens and vegetables and somebody actually cooked food and actually know how to cook something. This is why cookbooks are the number one seller in all bookstores and online. Because ain't nobody, everybody mama home right now with this COVID and ain't cooking, ain't reading to you, but know how to go on Instagram. I mean, it's just the craziest thing. Look at that. I work for a dyslexic judge. His stories from teachers that he was lazy. See, that's the crazy part. Oh, I see some of them. I'm deleting. I believe children are the future until it's time to put in work. Yeah, listen. And this. I'm trying to go back and find this article, but there's a county in Virginia. If I can go back and find it, if anybody in chat finds it, let me know. Help me out here. It was showing that a bunch of men had got full custody of their kids during COVID because the moms are like, oh, toss my hands up. Here you go. And LR movement, I was getting ready to email you about this, but I was like, I want to go find that article because I can believe it, especially near a military base where these women are like, he here all day, full time. Here you go, have your kid. And right now, I have 3 male cousins who got full custody. 1 after divorce and 2 after just because the mom was just raggedy. I'm telling you, it's gonna be some changing, some musical chairs up in here. Y'all, I done blocked 7 people out of chat. I'm telling y'all, exhausting. Go get a life. It's the middle of the day. It's clear you can't read. It's clear you don't care. Get off the channel. Pookie and Demisha, they sure did. I blocked them. It's all good. AM1 full circle, Mr. Fantastic. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I know a woman, and I was when I was in high school, I didn't understand it, but like she didn't graduate high school. She had 9 children. Her first 2 daughters didn't graduate high school either. They had babies. Her twin daughters were the first to graduate, and this whole family was like, yes, and they're going crazy. And I'm like, that was the first person in their family to graduate was twins, and that's because both those girls played softball and sports and were in ROTC in school. So they had to graduate to go into the army the way they wanted to. It was the craziest thing. And to this day, like all kids after her, and this is why I say 1 affects 10. Every child after those set of twins finished high school. And then every one of them tried to go in the military like the ones that finished. Because that's what they saw. And these people live in a military town. And here they are with this mom who done had 9 children. And the first 2 couldn't even finish high school. And she didn't finish high school. And the grandma before that didn't finish high school. Y'all, it's crazy. This is true. Some kids have to be in front, listening. Okay. Okay, look, Melita, take your time. You know what I mean? Do what you have to do. We are in the lowest percentile. We're the lowest right now, lowest numbers ever of divorces. The lowest has been in like 10 years, the past 3 years. And that's because it's economic. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's economic. And it's going to continue to be economic. If there is a couple separating and divorcing in the middle of a pandemic because they're stressed out, they're going to be in poverty anyway. I'm just keep it a buck. Again, we turned down a tenant who had 4 kids because she said, oh, her and the baby father broke up and he got a 2-bedroom apartment. I was like, excuse me, what? Ma'am, you have 4 children. Follow that man wherever he goes and live with him. He don't get to just bounce like that. And that's the problem. Y'all have all these people just bouncing. Their family ain't going to tell them nothing. Come on now. Nobody in their family gonna keep that black man accountable that, hey, you done made these 4 kids with this girl. You need to live with her. You don't get to go house to house and keep making a bunch of kids and destroying lives. No, sir. No, sir. But see, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about how that man created a broken home. We don't want to talk about that. We just want to talk about child support. So, okay, cool. Single men out here giving advice, so why they coming for you? Honey, okay? Come on. Ben Carlson, thank y'all so much. They love calling Ben Carson a fool. And this man is a brain surgeon. I mean, the stuff that's how twisted we are right now. We have this woman working 3 jobs talking about somebody at school should have called her. Girl, bye. And1, don't you hate on people's futures? Parents went to HBCU in the 40s, not sure if they graduated or not. It happens. My dad didn't get past the 5th or 6th grade. You wouldn't know it. Listen, my grandma used to write to all her children and her family members that had moved these long, multiple page letters. And I learned later my grandma didn't finish past 8th grade because they had 14 kids. And they were like, hey, we're a farm family. We can't afford for everybody to go to school at the same time. This is back when you had to put a little money in the teacher pocket. Okay? This one, it cost you something and not have all the kids home. And so, some of my uncles finished, some of my aunts did. These are great. My grandma's brothers and sisters. Some of them did, some didn't, but a lot of them own homes, own farms, own businesses. Again, they do. In California, you could pass with a 50% score. There you go. Anyway, I'm out to the National Guard. What about the National Guard? I mean, it's an option. They do. Oh yeah, I mean, again, that's what's so funny that they gave these parents these trackable laptops, and some people pawned them, some people didn't ever open them, all kind of stupid stuff. This is true. This is true. So, I mean, I thank y'all for being here. I mean, Dr. Dix, I'm telling you, I'm going to bring Dr. Dix on again. And I think next Tuesday, I'm going to see if Tamika has time. And we're just going to talk about automation and tech. And like, this is why I'm pushing for kids are like, well, do I have to go do 4 years of college? Some of y'all just need to go get a certification, get your foot in the door. Because I hate to say it, we've built an economy where if you're specialized enough on one skill, you can keep going. And that's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. And I had 8 male teachers over the course of my school career. And I think that's what added to my experience being different because I was always around military towns and you had all these leftover men who were like, I'm going to be a school teacher. Why not? Right. And they didn't play. Homie didn't play. I just don't understand that. Homie didn't play. Honey. And like they going to track her too. They going to charge her for the iPads. Kids ain't going to get their report cards. Listen, this is the part that's so crazy. Your kids have been home for a year and you're talking about, I need some food stamps. Baby, these are the same kids you feed any other day anyway. Texas is only going to give you $300. And then Texas kicks you off after 3 months. So I'm sitting here trying to understand how these people are like, I need some food stamps for Texas. Boo-boo. rice, beans, and chicken. I'm sorry. Erica, what about the vegetables? What about it? Anyway, you guys, I'm exhausted now. I'm exhausted myself. I'm gonna just tell y'all like this: if you have some kids in your life that you want to focus on, I need you. I really, really need you to figure out what you want them to learn. Figure out some certifications, some boot camps you want to send them to, because seriously, this is gonna be bad. And so I've already decided. I've talked with Tim Jackson and several other people who have things where they're working with young black men. That, hey, look, I'll pay $400 for 4 or 5 kids to go get their insurance adjusters. Kids, I don't mean grown men. If you're a grown man, do not text me that you don't have money. I had about 7 of y'all do that, and I just couldn't believe it. It's just crazy. But I that's the only way it's gonna work. Is we're gonna have to send some kids to school, and I'm gonna really talk to y'all about family businesses and why they're gonna become important. Because a lot of y'all gonna wake up and see nobody's hiring your cousins and them, nobody hiring your brother and sister, and you're gonna have to need to hire them and put them on payroll. And I know people, oh, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. So, but again, whoo, I'm just gonna tell y'all now. College is already eliminated. Yeah, they did. Because they realized you have a population that's really, really dumbed down. So anyway, all right, you guys. This is your girl Erica from the Classic Climb blog. Listen, somebody got to care about these kids. Because it's clear they mamas and daddies don't. But yeah, what you're going to see, I'm going to tell you right now, is you're going to see in the next, I would say, in the next 2 months, you're going to see Tennessee, probably Georgia, and a couple other states all of a sudden lift all the mask restrictions. Because one, they want to get the kids into school, and 2, they want to get the unemployment down, and 3, they want to get the food stamps down. So mark my words, mark your calendar. March 15th, we're going to see what Tennessee does. I have a strong feeling Tennessee's going to remove the mask because Texas, I feel like Texas only did it to beat Tennessee's vote, really. Because you have Mississippi, Texas, Florida now who don't, not mandatory. And you're going to see more of it. So yeah, mask off. So again, good luck out there. I just want you to understand the kids you're running into in the street can't read. That's why mumble rap sounds like it does. And good luck out there, folks. All right, you guys, later.